In the mists of time, around 38,000 years ago, the first human footprints were etched into the soil of the Japanese archipelago. This was the dawn of the Paleolithic era. The people of this time left their mark in the form of cord-mark pottery, a signature of the Jomon period. As the millennia rolled on, the Yayoi period emerged in the first millennium BC, bringing with it new inventions from the vast continent of Asia. It was during this period that the first written reference to Japan was etched into the annals of history, recorded in the Chinese Book of Han. Fast forward to the 3rd century BC, a wave of Yayoi people migrated from the continent to the Japanese archipelago. They brought with them the secrets of iron technology and the knowledge of agricultural civilization. Their population swelled, ultimately overwhelming the native Jomon people, the hunter-gatherers of the archipelago. The Chinese family of scripts, descended from the Chinese oracle bone script, found their way to the Japanese archipelago. These scripts, including the Chinese script itself and adaptations to other languages such as Kanji for Japanese, were used for a variety of languages in East Asia. The Chinese scripts were written in various calligraphic hands, including seal script, clerical script, regular script, semi-cursive script, and cursive script. The Japanese adopted these scripts and gradually developed their unique writing system. The Japanese writing system is a fascinating amalgamation of 3 scripts: Kanji, Hiragana, and Katakana. Kanji, ideograms adopted from China and Korea, were the first to be introduced around the 5th century. Over time, these complex characters were simplified into the phonetic scripts of Hiragana and Katakana. Hiragana, based on entire characters written in a style of Chinese calligraphy called sasho, emerged around the 9th century. Katakana, on the other hand, developed from parts of Kanji. These scripts, each corresponding to one sound in the Japanese language, have been instrumental in shaping the Japanese language as we know it today. During the Heian period, the influence of Chinese culture and civilization began to wane. The 9th century marked a continuation of the Chinese foundations, but Japan started to develop its own unique cultural path. The writing of Chinese prose and verse remained popular among scholars, and great respect for Chinese customs was shown in the daily lives of the aristocracy. However, as the centuries passed, Japan began to assert its own identity, leading to new developments in art and literature. Between the 4th and 9th centuries, the many kingdoms and tribes of Japan gradually coalesced under a centralized government, nominally controlled by the Emperor of Japan. The imperial dynasty established during this time continues to this day, albeit in a largely ceremonial role. In 794, a new imperial capital sprang up at Heian-kyo, marking the beginning of the Heian period, a golden age of classical Japanese culture. From this time onwards, Japanese religious life was a blend of native Shinto practices and Buddhism. However, the power of the imperial house waned over the following centuries, passing first to the great clans of civilian aristocrats, most notably the Fujiwara, and then to the military clans and their armies of samurai. The Minamoto clan, under the leadership of Minamoto no Yoritomo, emerged victorious from the Genpei War of 1180–85, defeating their rival military clan, the Taira. After seizing power, Yoritomo established his capital in Kamakura and took the title of shogun. In 1274 and 1281, the Kamakura shogunate withstood 2 Mongol invasions, but in 1333, it was toppled by a rival claimant to the shogunate, ushering in the Muromachi period. During this period, regional warlords, known as daimyo, grew in power at the expense of the shogun. Eventually, Japan descended into a period of civil war. Over the course of the late 16th century, Japan was reunified under the leadership of the prominent daimyo Oda Nobunaga and his successor, Toyotomi Hideyoshi. After Toyotomi's death in 1598, Tokugawa Ieyasu rose to power and was appointed shogun by the emperor. The Tokugawa shogunate, which governed from Edo, presided over a prosperous and peaceful era known as the Edo period. The shogunate imposed a strict class system on Japanese society and cut off almost all contact with the outside world. In 1543, Portugal and Japan came into contact when the Portuguese became the first Europeans to reach Japan by landing in the southern archipelago. They had a significant impact on Japan, even in this initial limited interaction, introducing firearms to Japanese warfare. The American Perry expedition in 1853–54 more completely ended Japan's seclusion. This contributed to the fall of the shogunate and the return of power to the emperor during the Boshin War in 1868. The new national leadership of the following Meiji period transformed the isolated feudal island country into an empire that closely followed Western models and became a great power. This is the epic tale of Japan, a nation shaped by war and peace, tradition and innovation, isolation and contact with the wider world. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to the channel. See you!